Abigail, and this is a class that will focus on good posture, particularly in the upper back and the neck. So I'm going to talk to you about a phenomenon called the 42-pound head. You can learn about this if you're interested on Eric Dalton's website. His website is www.ericdalton.com. And Eric Dalton has created an image that you can find on his website of a person who has developed a kyphosis in their upper back. A kyphosis is when, because of poor posture or other mitigating factors, a person has developed a slump, a round in their upper back spine. Now this happens sometimes as we grow older because the curves in our spine start to lose their elasticity. Okay? When you develop a kyphosis in your lower back, as your lower back rounds, watch what's happening to my body, my shoulders come forward and my head starts to protrude in front of its natural location right at the top of my spine. Now most heads weigh about 10 or 12 pounds. And what Eric Dalton said is that for every inch that your head protrudes forward of the top of your spine, it can increase the weight of the head on the spine by an additional 10 pounds. So if your head is protruding 3 inches forward of your spine, that's a virtual 42-pound head, which is very heavy and can create a lot of discomfort in your neck and in your upper back. So we want to avoid the phenomenon of the 42-pound head. We're going to do that today by working on drawing the thoracic, the upper back spine, into the body to elongate the space in the upper back and the neck. So let's begin in a comfortable seat. The props that you should have today for this practice are 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can make do without them, okay? But it's ideal to have them. So 2 yoga blocks, a yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, you could use the tie of a bathrobe, or you could use a men's necktie, an old men's necktie that you don't mind if it gets a little wrinkled. And then finally, a thick towel or a blanket. So I have a blanket here. And if you don't have yoga blocks, you'll be able to use a thick towel or a blanket instead of those blocks for some of the moves that we'll be working on. Okay? So start in a comfortable seat on your mat. Sit up nice and tall, but don't take a stiff posture. So you want to create a long spine, but a relaxed spine at the same time. So sit up and out of your pelvis. Your rib cage will lift up away from your hips. Relax your shoulders on your back. And then interlace your hands behind your head. Narrow your elbows a little bit. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, push your head gently back into your interlaced hands. Make sure your hands are on the back of your head and not on the back of your neck. It should feel as though you're pushing your head back into a headrest. Now relax your shoulders a little bit. Take a deep breath in and out. So right now what we're doing is drawing the upper back spine in and then realigning the neck with the spine by gently drawing the muscles of the throat back and creating the pressure of the back of the skull against the interlaced fingers. Now, take a deep breath in and begin to lift your chin slightly up toward the ceiling. Let your head rest back into your hands. As you exhale, bring your chin back through center and slowly lower your chin to your chest. Let your hands get a little bit heavy on the back of your head and let your elbows close. Do your best not to round your upper back here, but to keep your upper back lifted, drawing in, but your chin lowering to your chest. So now, lighten your hands on your head, lift your head up, you can widen your elbows here, lean your head back into your hands and look up. And exhale, slowly come through neutral, then lower your chin to your chest and let your elbows close. As a flow, inhale, lift your chin, lean your head back. Exhale, chin to your chest, let your elbows close. Lighten up your hands to lift your head, lean your head back, lift your chin toward the ceiling. Exhale, chin to your chest, elbows close, hands can get a little heavy on the back of your head to stretch the back of your neck. Do it again, inhale and lift up, lean back. Exhale, chin to your chest, and stretch. One more time, inhale, lift your chin, look up. And exhale, chin to your chest, and stretch. Inhale, lift your chin up, unwind your fingers, drop your hands down. I'm going to turn sideways on my mat. Okay. If you've been sitting like I was, you should turn sideways too, so you have room to recline, but go ahead and take one of your yoga blocks toward the back of your mat, the medium height, the wide way. Okay. If you don't have a yoga block, take your blanket, roll it into the thickest, tightest roll that you can manage, and you will substitute that blanket for the block, okay? A block is preferable if you have it. Now watch me first. I'll show both options with the block and the blanket, and you can choose, okay? One additional modification that you might make is we're going to lean back onto this block in a moment. It's going to come into our upper back, and you might find that it's pretty stiff. If it's too stiff for your body, too uncomfortable, take your towel or blanket and pad that block, okay? So watch me first with the block. You're going to sit about 6 or 8 inches away from the block, and with your knees bent, slowly you're going to lower back until that block is roughly underneath your shoulder blades. Once you're back, grab hold of your head right away, hands behind your skull, not behind your neck. And as you inhale, lean back gently over the block and back bend. You'll feel that block pulling your upper back spine into your body. As you exhale, you can lift your head with your hands and tuck your chin into your chest. So we're going to do a few rounds of this. If you find the block is too stiff, pad it with a blanket. And again, if you don't have a block, this is what the option with the blanket or the towel will look like. Okay, so you'll take your towel in the same place, or your blanket. You'll lean back until that blanket or towel is underneath your shoulder blades and your upper back. You'll grab hold of your head. You'll inhale and bend back over that blanket roll. And as you exhale, you'll lift your chin toward your chest. So make your choice. Set yourself up with a blanket, a block, or a block padded with a blanket. And here we go as a flow. You want the bottom edge of the block right under the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. Grab hold of your head, feet are flat and planted firmly. As you inhale, bend back, and as you exhale, support your head fully, lift your chin toward your chest. Okay. Inhale. You might only do a tiny back bend over the block. Exhale, and then lift up. Or you might find it feels good to go a little bit further. Feel your breastbone lifting up toward the ceiling. And come back up. So you get to choose what feels best in your body. It should not feel painful. You should not feel any strain anywhere along your spine. Breathing slowly and deeply. Inhaling to move back over the block. And exhaling to look toward your navel. Now feel, this is a great postural correction. Feel how that block is drawing your upper back in and into your body as you bend back over it. So if you sit a lot, and many of us in this modern Western world, we do. We sit at a desk, we work on a computer, we sit in our cars quite a bit, maybe we sit on the couch, and that causes us to slump, to round in the upper back. Now there's nothing wrong per se with rounding in your upper back. Your spine has the capability of moving in many different directions. What you want to avoid is getting stuck in one position. Okay? It's like when your mother used to say, if you keep making that face, your face is going to get stuck that way. Well, there's some truth to that. Our posture has an ability to get stuck when we remain too long in one position. 3 more rounds like this. If you're starting to get too tired or if it feels like too much in your body, of course you don't have to do this many repetitions. Last one if you're still with me. Good. Now hang on to your head with one hand. Take the opposite forearm down to your mat and push. Help yourself to come up to sit. Move your block off to the side. Grab hold of your shins with your hands. As you inhale, we're going to do some seated cat-cow. Sit up tall, drop your shoulders, lengthen your neck. As you exhale, tuck your chin into your chest, lean back, round your upper back, hanging onto your knees there for support. So take a few rounds. Inhale, sit up tall, nice and neutral spine. And then exhale, round. So we're counterposing those back bends that we just did over the block. So keep going with your breath here. A few more rounds, sitting up tall as you inhale. And rounding, spreading your shoulder blades apart as you exhale. One more round there. Now come up to sit for a moment. We're going to find our way onto our backs, but I want you to have a pillow in place for your head when we get there. Take your blanket to about this shape and fold it narrow so that you have a long, narrow pillow to rest your head on. Now take your seated cat-cow one more time. Hang on to your shins. Take a deep breath and sit up tall. And as you exhale, round yourself all the way down onto your back and adjust yourself so that that pillow is underneath your head. But once you're there, I want you to roll all the way onto your right side. Roll all the way onto your right side. Come into a little fetal position. So your knees are bent roughly in line with your hips. They can be a little lower if they need to be for comfort. And stretch both of your arms out in line with your shoulders, palms together. Now as you inhale, we're going to do a twist. As you inhale, pick your left hand up and circle it toward the wall behind you, up over your ear, and then start to roll open into a twist. Look to the left. As you inhale now, bring that left arm back up and over in the same direction that it moved the first time until your palms come together, okay? So take a deep breath, and we're going to do this as a flow now. Exhale. Left arm lifts up and moves over to the left. Turn and open into your twist. Then inhale. Come back through the same direction, palms together. Exhale. Roll open into your twist. Then inhale. Come back. Now notice as you do this, so keep going with your breath. Exhaling, open into your twist. And inhaling back. Notice that you have a couple of options with your lower body. You can wash my knees here. You can let your knees slide apart so your hips roll open into the twist a little bit. And then your knees come back together at the same time your palms touch. To make this a deeper twist, try pinning your knees together, rolling open, and keeping them pinned together as you come back out of your twist. And you'll find that's a deeper twist in your spine and perhaps a deeper stretch across your inner chest and shoulder on that left side. So 3 more rounds like this. Slow, deep breaths. Last one. Good. Once you're done, roll yourself back onto your back. Shift your hips to center. Lift your feet. Hug your knees in and rock yourself a little bit side to side. Good. Then drop your feet down. Roll yourself over onto your left side. I'm going to turn and pivot so that I can continue to face the camera. You can hear what I'm saying. Okay, but you stay right where you are. Roll onto your left side. Bring yourself into that little fetal position with your knees bent over to the left, your palms together over to the left. As you inhale, lift that right hand, circle it back toward the wall behind you, and then up overhead, over to the right, roll open into your twist. Then exhale, back through the same direction until your right palm can touch your left palm. Okay, so as a flow, here we go. Nice and slow with your breath. So we're exhaling up and over into the twist, and inhaling to come back. Now again, you have that option to let your knees slide apart and let your hips roll slightly over to the right into the twist, or to keep your knees pinned together. Once your lower body is stable, your upper back, your chest, and your shoulders can get a little deeper into the twist. If you feel any pinching or pain or discomfort when you keep your knees pinned together, don't choose that option. Choose to let your knees slide apart. So this twist is doing us a lot of good in many parts of our body. We're getting a stretch across the chest, that right inner shoulder. So you can feel that as we move. Getting a nice twist through the spine. Getting a release, big release for the upper back. And that's going to really assist the health of your neck. Slow, deep breaths. We've got 3 more rounds. When you finish up that 3rd round, roll yourself back onto your back, scoot your hips back to center, lift both feet, and hug your knees in. Rock a little bit side to side. Good. Now we're going to do one more thing here on our backs. It's going to be a yogic bridge pose. So take that blanket out from underneath your head so that your head can rest right back on the mat. Now with your knees bent and your feet roughly hip distance apart, walk your heels in toward your hips as far as you comfortably can, still able to get your heels down to the mat. Now take your arms down to your sides and turn your palms to face up. And as you do that, see if you can take your inner shoulders toward your outer shoulders so it feels like the head of your arm bones, your upper arms press back into the floor. Now, we're going to take some pelvic tilts here. So as you inhale, rock your pelvis so that your pubic bone tilts toward your tailbone and your low back arches up away from the mat, just gently. As you exhale, lengthen your tailbone toward your pubic bone, flatten your low back out by squeezing your belly down. So your hips will not lift up here. You're just going to rock your pelvis forward and back. Inhale, arch your lower back. Exhale, and flatten. And let's do one more like that. Inhale, arch your lower back. And exhale, flatten. Now come right in between those two, a neutral low back curve. Now lift your hips up. Your glutes will tense gently. Keep some activity in your abdominal muscles, so a gentle cinch in around your waist, lengthen your tailbone. But now try to lift your mid-back up toward the ceiling. Then your upper back lifts up. Push down into your upper arm bones and feel your thoracic spine drawing in. Take a deep breath in. Imagine the feeling of that block drawing your upper back vertebrae in toward your heart. As you exhale, slowly roll down along your spine, coming through that flat back position. Then a neutral spine. Inhale and lift up. Lift your upper back up, 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 so your chest comes toward your chin. Exhale, slowly roll down along your spine. Neutral spine. Inhale, lift up. Now be careful not to drop your chin toward your chest. You want to lift your chest toward your chin. Your chin is lifted and you have space behind your neck. Slowly roll down along your spine. So you're moving at your own pace with your own breath. Inhale. Use everything that's pushing into the floor to help you. Your feet, your arm bones, your upper back. And exhale. Roll down. 2 more like this. Inhale and lift up. Exhale. Lower down. Make sure your knees stay in line with your hips here. Inhale. Lift your chest toward your chin. Feel your upper back draw in. Exhale. Lower down. Good. Pick your feet up. Hug your knees in. Rock a little bit side to side. Now, continue to hang on to your right knee here. Drop your left foot down to the mat and interlace your hands behind your right thigh. Now, very gently begin to stretch your right leg as straight as you can. We're looking for a stretch in the back of the leg here. And as you do that, take a pelvic tilt. As you inhale, arch your lower back. Your right leg's going to move forward in space toward the foot end of your mat. As you exhale, flatten your low back out and pull that right leg in. Now come right in between those two so you have a neutral low back curve. And if you can do that comfortably, you have the option to stretch your left leg out straight along the mat. If it is hard for you to reach the back of your thigh here, take your strap behind your thigh, and hang on to your strap instead. Your right leg does not need to be straight. If your hamstrings are pretty tight, keep a bend in that right knee. Okay? Now spread your right toes here. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, curl your nose up toward your knee. Take your knee toward your nose. Then lower back down as you inhale. If that's a lot of strain for your neck, take one hand behind your head. Exhale, curl up, hanging onto your head, and then lower back down. So we're going to do a few repetitions here. Exhale, curl up, inhale, back down. 3 more like this. Exhale. So your choice. You're hanging onto your head with one hand, Or you've got both hands behind your thigh. Keep your toes nice and active. And last one. Exhale, curl up. And lower back down. Bend your right knee, drop that right foot down to the mat. Stretch both legs out long. Wiggle your feet out a little bit. Feel the difference in your two legs. Stretch your arms overhead. Take a deep breath in. And open your mouth. Sigh it out. Bring your arms back to your sides. Bend your knees. Lift both feet. Hug both knees in. Rock a little bit side to side. Now we're going to keep hanging on to the left knee. Drop your right foot down to the mat and interlace your hands behind your left thigh. Feel free to use a strap if you can't reach comfortably. Stretch your left leg as gently straight as you can. Stop when you feel the edge of a stretch, even if your knee is deeply bent. And then find a little pelvic tilt here. Inhale and arch your back. Let your left leg move away from you. Exhale, flatten your low back out. Hug that left thigh in. And then come right in between those two. Find a neutral low back curve. And if you can comfortably do that, stretch your right leg out long. Spread your left toes. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, curl your nose up towards your knee. Then flatten your low back out as you do this, hugging that left knee in. Then inhale, lower back down, back to your neutral low back curve. So another option is to exhale and curl up with one hand behind your head so you don't strain your neck. Lower back down. So it's your choice. If you're comfortable lifting without hanging onto your head, that's fine. Taking slow deep breaths, we've got 3 more. Exhale and curl up. Nose to knee to nose. Inhale back down. Keep your toes nice and spread and active. No pain or strain here. 1 more. Just a nice stretch for the hamstring, activation for the core. Good. Bend that left knee. Drop your left foot down to the mat. Stretch both legs out long. Wiggle your legs out a little bit. Take your arms overhead. Take a deep breath in. Stretch out. Open your mouth. Sigh the breath out. Bring your arms down to your sides. Bend both knees. Lift both feet. Hug your knees in. Rock a little side to side. And then either rock to one side and push yourself up to sit, or rock and roll forward to sit. Okay. And take a comfortable seat for a moment. So you're welcome to sit with crossed legs, or Virasana, sit with a block between your feet. So your choice. Set yourself up, but grab your strap. So we're going to do a little bit of work with our strap to build a little bit more heat in our shoulders. Focus on drawing that upper back spine into the body. Hold your strap about shoulder distance apart between your first finger and your thumb. Relax your shoulders down and lengthen your spine. As you inhale, make your strap taut. Take your arms out and up overhead, and then gently push your hands back in space until you start to feel some resistance in your chest and inner shoulders. Take a deep breath into it, pulling your strap in opposite directions. So the strap is nice and taut. As you exhale, bring your strap forward and down. So let's do that again. Inhale, come out and up. Relax your shoulders. Exhale, press back gently. Try not to drop your chin to your chest. Keep your chin lifted. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, come forward and down. And again like that. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, press back. Stay there. Make your strap taut. Inhale. And exhale. Come forward and down. Good. Set your strap to the side. Actually, go ahead and hang your strap around your neck because we're going to come up to stand. So find your way up. Clear your mat of your props. So we did that version seated because as I take my arms overhead with the strap, you're not going to be able to see the strap on the video camera, but now you know what it looks like. Separate your feet, sit bone distance apart. It's a little bit narrower than outer hip distance. Make the outer edges of your feet parallel. Shift slightly forward and back into the balls of your feet and your heels until you can even out the distribution of weight between the two. Lengthen your tailbone just slightly down. Use the lift of your belly to help your posture here to grow longer, taller through your spine. Relax your shoulders. Now make your strap taut again. As you inhale, arms come out and up. Shoulders relax. As you exhale, hands push back in space. Stay there. Take a deep breath in and come forward and down. Exhale. Do that one again. Inhale, come out and up. Exhale, press back. Feel your upper back spine drawing in. Try not to let your chin drop forward. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, forward and down. Now we'll do something different this time. Inhale, come out and up. Exhale, start to push back. Bend your elbows. Slide your hands open on the strap as much as you need to and see if you can comfortably take your hands back behind you. If that's a real challenge for you, bend your arms a lot and open your hands on the strap really wide. Okay, so here we go. Back out and up. Inhale, bend your elbows. Keep your shoulders nice and soft. Exhale, come forward and down. So if you don't feel a whole lot of tension, narrow your hands on the strap. If you feel too much tension, widen your hands. If you just can't get your hands to come back behind you, continue to repeat, pressing your arms back in space. Inhale, come out and up. Exhale, you might just press back. You might bend your elbows and let your arms move back behind you. Then inhale, come back out and up. And exhale, forward and down. So keep going. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. Inhale, my spine doesn't change here. So I'm not coming into a big back bend to try to take those hands back behind me. I'm keeping my tailbone on, my low ribs drawn in, and my chin parallel to the floor. So keep going with your breath. 3 more rounds. Inhale. You might just press back if this feels too aggressive on your shoulders, or you might be able to come back behind you. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, forward and down. Last 2. Inhale. Crown of the head reaches for the ceiling. Exhale. It's just the arms and the shoulders moving, not the spine. Inhale, back out and up. Exhale, forward and down. Last 1. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Good. And exhale. Hang that strap around your neck. Shake out your hands and arms a little bit and take some deep shoulder rolls. So you're trying to touch your earlobes with your shoulders. Breathing deeply here. Change the direction of those shoulder rolls. And now let your arms swing forward and back. Let them cross in front of your body. Change the cross as you go. Keep breathing. Nice and deep. Good. And then slow down that swing. Good. We're going to do something else with the strap now. Start in the same starting position, hands about shoulder distance apart. Inhale, take your arms out and up. Now this time, exhale, bend your elbows, relax your shoulders, and take that strap behind your head. Tap the back of your skull so you feel that it's in the right place. Now deep inhalation, and as you exhale, begin to stretch your right arm out long. Take your left hand behind your head, and then side bend a little bit. Right hand comes toward the floor, left ribs move toward the left. Inhale, come back to center, both elbows bent, strap behind your head. Exhale, left arm goes out long, right hand comes behind the head, and then start to side bend here. Take another breath. Good. Exhale, come back to center. Okay, so take a deep breath in. We're going to go as the flow now. Exhale, side bend to the right. Right arm goes long, left elbow bends. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, side bend, left arm goes out long, right hand comes behind the head. And inhale back to center. If that feels comfortable, exhale, you have the option to take both arms out long as you side bend. Back to center, inhale. And if that's too much, then in this case, the right arm stays bent instead of going long. Good. 1 more round, side to side. Exhale. And back to center, inhale. And exhale. Good. Back to center, inhale. Good. Hang that strap around your neck for a moment. Give your arms a little swing, a little shake. And now as you inhale, take your arms out nice and wide and squeeze your shoulder blades back behind you. You might even lift your breastbone toward the ceiling, a little back bend. As you exhale, bring your arms forward. Cross your right arm on top of your left arm and give yourself a hug. You can tap your outer shoulders here, tuck your chin and round your upper back. On your next inhalation, open up wide. Lift your breastbone. Exhale. Left arm comes forward over the right. Cross your arms, hug yourself. Inhale, go out wide, open up. Exhale, give yourself a hug. Inhale. Feel your upper back spine draw in. Exhale, round and stretch between your shoulder blades. 2 more rounds like that. Inhale. And exhale. And 1 more. Inhale. Good. And exhale. Good. Release your arms down to your sides and send that strap over just your right shoulder. Just your right shoulder. Good. Now arms come to your sides. Stand up nice and tall. As you inhale, take both arms out and up. As you exhale, bend your right elbow. Let your right hand dangle behind your back and take hold of your right elbow with your left hand. Okay, so I'm going to show you that from the back. Right elbow bends. Right hand dangles. Start to close your right elbow joint and reach your right hand for your right shoulder. And at that point, feel for your strap. You may or may not need your strap for this. Okay, so once you have that right elbow, notice if you just dropped your chin. Lift your chin parallel to the floor. Draw your throat back. Lengthen your neck. Relax your shoulders. Now take a deep breath in here. And as you exhale, release your right elbow with your left hand. Swing your left arm out to the left, palm faces back, and then give it a little sweep. Bend that left elbow and climb your left hand up your spine. Here's what that looks like from behind. You're hanging onto your strap with your right hand. Left arm reaches out, palm faces away. Give a little swing. Left hand creeps up along your back. And you can take hold of your strap with both hands. Your hands might be far apart on the strap, or perhaps you can reach opposite fingers. Don't strain to try to touch opposite fingers. That's what the strap is there for. Okay, so hang on to your strap or opposite fingers, and as you inhale, lift your breastbone slightly toward the ceiling. Just a little tiny hint of a back bend. As you exhale, come to a neutral spine. Bend your knees. This is chair pose. Stick your hips way out behind you and sink down. And straighten your legs. Inhale and curl your breastbone up. Exhale, neutral spine. Bend your knees, sink down. Use your core, your belly muscles to support yourself. Inhale. Lift up long through your tailbone. Exhale. Bend and sink down. 2 more like this. Inhale. And exhale. And last one. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Come on up to long legs and a neutral spine. Slide your hands apart on the strap or let go of fingertips. Give your fingers a wiggle. Give your arms a wiggle. Let your arms swing forward and back. Take a few slow, deep breaths. Let all that tension go from your neck and shoulders. And then slowly switch your strap over to the left shoulder. Arms come down to your side. Stand up nice and tall. Inhale. Take both arms out and up. Exhale, bend your left elbow, take hold of it with your right hand. Now, lift your chin, draw your throat back. It's that feeling of your head pressing back against an imaginary headrest. It's okay if your left elbow comes forward in front of your face. That means you're a little tighter in your tricep. That's fine. Okay, don't strain to move that elbow back. Now, close your joint by taking your left hand toward your left shoulder. Take hold of your strap. Take a deep breath in as you exhale. Release your right hand. Turn your palm to face the wall behind you and slowly give it a swing. Climb that hand up your spine. You might reach opposite fingers. You might take hold of the strap. It's no big deal either way. You should feel something appreciable, a good stretch, but not pain or strain. Tighten your front ribs and slightly lengthen your tailbone. Lift your chin, draw your throat back. Inhale, now lift your breastbone toward the ceiling. Your chin will lift slightly too. As you exhale, neutral spine, bend your knees a little bit, chair. Stand up tall again. Inhale and lift your breastbone. Exhale, sink into chair. Move your hips back. Relax your toes. Inhale, curl up. Exhale, sink down. Just 2 more rounds. Inhale. And exhale. And last one. Inhale. Good. And exhale. Good. Come back up to long legs. Inhale slowly. Slide your hands apart on the strap. Give your arms a wiggle. You can drop that strap off to the side now. Give your arms a swing. Good. Take 1 more breath here. Let your arms slow down. And we're going to step to one edge of the mat. Okay, so step up to the top of your mat. If you have blocks, go ahead and set them up on either side of your mat. If you don't have blocks, that's okay. You can do without them. Stand with your feet sit bone distance apart. Take your hands to your heart. Take a deep breath in and out and elongate your spine. Tailbone down, crown of the head reaches up. Let that breath go completely. And then inhale. Take your arms down to your sides. Turn your palms out. Take your arms back, out and up. And as you exhale, swan dive. Bend your knees, fold forward. You can take hold of your blocks or let your hands touch the mat. Drop your head here. Bend your knees deeply. Shift your hips back in space. Lay your belly on your thighs. Drop your head, let your head dangle. And then slowly start to straighten your legs a little or a lot until you feel a stretch. Don't worry about trying to get to straight legs here. Stop when you feel a stretch in those legs. Take a deep breath in and out. We're going to pulse this stretch a little bit, okay? So if you can't reach the floor and you don't have blocks, your hands could be up on your shins or even your thighs. As you inhale, bend your knees even more deeply until you stop feeling a stretch in the backs of your legs. And as you exhale, start to straighten them. Stop the moment you feel the edge of a stretch. Inhale, bend. And exhale, straighten. Let's do 3 more like this. Inhale, bend. You might be up high like this. Exhale, straighten. 2 more. Inhale. Relax your head. Your neck muscles do not need to work here. Exhale, straighten. 1 more round. Inhale, bend. And exhale, straighten. Good. Inhale, bend your knees enough you can get your hands to the mat or to your blocks and help yourself come down to hands and knees. Once you're on hands and knees, we're going to come into downward facing dog pose. So stack your hips over your knees, but take your hands forward at an angle. Spread your fingers wide. Hands are shoulder distance apart. Externally rotate your outer upper arms. It feels like you're trying to pinch a pencil in your outer armpit and your inner elbows will turn forward. But press down into the base of your index finger as you do that. Curl your toes under, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, shift your hips back toward your heels. Lift your knees, drop your head. Start with bent knees and draw your upper back spine in so your spine is nice and long, it's not rounded. Then slowly you might start to straighten your legs a little or a lot. If you start to round your spine when you straighten your legs, keep your knees bent, okay? Take a little walk in place here, lowering one heel to the mat as you bend the opposite knee, stretching out your calves. Relax your neck, ears between your outer upper arms. Tighten your ribs in gently, but keep elongating your spine, stretching your tailbone up and back toward the place where the wall meets the ceiling behind you. Take 1 more slow, deep breath in and out here. Walking in place. Good, then lower to your knees and set up for plank pose. Shoulders stack right over your wrists. Fingers spread wide. Now push down into your hands until your shoulders spread broadly apart. So you're not sagging into your shoulder joints. It feels like you're buoyant, like you're full of helium and you're going to float up toward the ceiling. Now feel free to keep your knees down here. If you'd like to take full plank, step your feet back with your toes curled under, but tighten your belly, lengthen your tailbone. Take a deep breath in as you exhale with knees up or down. Lean your chest forward, hug your elbows in, grip your fingertips slightly, bend your elbows and lower down onto your belly. Good. Now once you're down on your belly, rest your chin and plant your hands right next to your side ribs. Now I want you to imagine that feeling of the block in your upper back, drawing your upper back vertebrae in. As you inhale, squeeze your upper arm bones up toward the ceiling and then back toward your heels. Then hug them down, shoulder blades hug down into your back. Now inhale, little baby cobra. Curl your upper back up. Remember the feeling of that block drawing your thoracic spine in. Keep your throat back so the back of your neck is long. At this point, you should be able to hover your hands above the ground. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lower yourself back down, take a rest. Do it again. Inhale and curl up. If you'd like to now nudge into your hands to lift a little higher, that's fine, do so. No pinching or pain. Try not to clench your glutes and hug your elbows in. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower back down. Let's do 1 more like that. Inhale, squeeze your upper back, curl your chest up. Breastbone is drawing through the gateway of your arms. Draw your throat back, your neck is long. Take an extra breath here. Inhale and exhale. Lower back down. Good, now plant firmly into your hands. Lift your chest just a little bit. Inhale. Exhale, tighten your ribs, tighten your belly. Press to hands and knees. And shift yourself back to child's pose. Round your back. If your hips won't go all the way back to your heels, stop shy of that. Don't create pain in your body. If your forehead won't reach the mat, feel free to bend your arms, stack up your forearms, make a pillow, and rest your forehead there. Slow, deep breaths. One more breath here. And when you've finished, find your way up to hands and knees, and then to sit on your mat. Now, find your yoga blocks one last time, and set those blocks up toward the back of your mat. Again, if you don't have yoga blocks, you can do this with the blanket, okay? So watch both options. With 2 blocks, you want 1 block the way we started class, the medium height, the wide way. That's going to go in the same place under your upper back. But this time, we're going to use another block as a pillow. So watch me for this option, then watch me for the blanket. Decide which one you want to do. So we're going to sit the same way in front of that first block. Lower back. Put your shoulder blades over that first block, and then the second block goes under your head. Now this is a chest opener. Okay, this is our final postural correction, drawing the upper back vertebrae into the spine to realign the neck with the spine. Your arms will go out wide and your palms will face up. You might find that the block underneath your head could go a little bit lower. If you lower it down and you feel strain or pain in your neck or upper back, take it back up a notch. I like this block at the lowest height, okay, and that feels comfortable in my body. It might not in yours. Choices for your legs are bent knees with feet flat, bent knees with soles of the feet together, knees wide, or straight legs like Shavasana legs, okay? So those are your choices with the blocks. If you look at that and you think, that doesn't look like it's going to feel good in my body, or you don't own yoga blocks, you have another option. Another option is to roll that blanket or towel nice and thick, and that will act as the block under your shoulder blades. Now you'll lie back. You want to lie back and get your head down to the mat. If your head won't comfortably reach the mat, then your blanket roll is too thick. Come back up and roll it a little bit thinner. Then your arms will go out wide above the blanket. Okay? Same options for your feet. Knees bent, soles of the feet together, knees bent, soles of the feet flat, or legs go out long. Okay? So you take your pick, set yourself up. 2 blocks or a blanket. Lower back, put your shoulder blades on your block or your blanket. Your head on the second block, or if you're using your blanket, your head will go back to the floor. Test out lowering the block underneath your head if you like. It's not necessary. Arms go out wide. Stretch your legs out long, or keep your knees bent, or let your knees open wide. And let yourself rest back into that block. Now relax as completely as you can here. As you breathe, notice that big boost in your breastbone, collarbones area. There's a big lift in your chest. Let your arms relax, relax, relax back into the floor. This is a restorative posture, so we're going to stay for a little while, about 5 to 8 more breaths. Nice, slow, deep breaths. If for some reason your body rejects this pose and you need to come up and out of it before then, that's absolutely fine. If you're staying in the pose, let yourself relax into the blocks. If you tense up in response, especially if you're up on the blocks and you feel the stiffness of that block, causes you to get tense, this pose is not going to do you any good. You need to be able to relax and let go of tension while you're here. Last big breath. If your legs are long, bend your knees one at a time. If your knees are wide, use your hands, help your knees draw together. Arms come down to your sides. Now very slowly and gently, try to keep your head and neck relaxed. Roll to the right. There's a tiny little drop. It's not going to hurt you. Once you're off of your blocks or your blanket, push down into your palms. Walk yourself back up to sit. Move those blocks off to the side. Take a comfortable seat for a moment. We've got one final pose before relaxation. You can sit with crossed legs up on a blanket. You can sit in Virasana, hero's pose on your block, kneeling with a block between your feet. Take a comfortable seat, sit up tall. So this will be our final counter pose. Got a big stretch across the chest. Now we're going to open up the upper back. Open up your arms wide, inhale to about shoulder height. As you exhale, bring your arms forward, cross your right elbow on top of your left elbow, and wrap your hands around your outer shoulders, giving yourself a hug. Now this might be plenty. You can wiggle your fingertips back toward your upper back and stretch your shoulder blades apart. You could let your chin drop into your chest. Stay here and breathe. This might be where you stay. If you want to go a little further, toward eagle arms. Lift your chin. Let go of your shoulders. Bring your hands forward. Stack your right elbow on top of your left. Bring the backs of your hands together and then double wrap your wrists so your palms touch each other. If you can't make that happen, you can hook two fingers together, or you could come back to this self-hug. Okay? So once you've got your arms the way you want them, relax your shoulders. As you inhale, lift your elbows slightly up. Keep your shoulders moving down. Lift your gaze toward your fingertips. As you exhale, lower your chin toward your chest. Lower your elbows toward your chest. Take a couple of rounds, lifting and lowering. Inhale. And exhale. So we're stretching the rhomboids, the muscles between the shoulder blades. We're stretching the outer shoulder muscles, deltoids there at the outer shoulders. Big release to your upper back. Two more breaths here. And when you've finished, bring your elbows right in between that lift and lower. Unwind them. Bring your arms to your sides and take some alternate shoulder rolls. Really slow and gentle and fluid. Come back to your breath. Deep breaths in and out. And then change the direction. Good. If you're sitting with crossed legs, go ahead and change the cross. Opposite shin in front. Inhale, stretch your arms open wide, shoulder height. Exhale, bring them forward. Left elbow over the right. Give yourself a hug. Wrap your hands to your outer shoulders or even further back. Tuck your chin into your chest, spread your shoulders apart. Welcome to stay right here and breathe. Or lift your chin for a moment. Hook that left elbow on top of the right. Bring the backs of the hands together and then see if you can get your palms to touch. If you can't, feel free to come back to this version. Then relax your shoulders down. Lift your elbows up. Lift your gaze toward your fingertips. Deep breath in. Exhale. Lower your chin and your elbows toward your chest. So move with your breath. Inhale, lift up. And exhale. Lower down. 3 more like that. Nice and slow and deep with your breath. Last one. And lift your elbows a little bit, unwind, drop your arms down, take your alternate shoulder rolls, and change the direction. Good. And relax. Give yourself room to recline on your mat. It's a little chilly here. I'm in Nashville and it's a snow day. We actually are getting 5 to 8 inches of snow, which is a lot for Nashville, so it's a little chilly. I'm going to cover up for Shavasana with a blanket. You might want to put more clothes on, or you might be perfectly fine the way you are, but give yourself room to recline. Hang on to your shins. Take a deep breath and sit up tall. Exhale, round yourself all the way down onto your back. Once you get down, stretch yourself out long like a rag doll. So feet go out in line with your hips. Arms, palms turn up. They move away from your side body 3 or 4 inches. If you need a little thin blanket underneath your head as a pillow, that's fine. Otherwise, your head rests right back on the mat. Adjust yourself so your shoulder blades can relax back into the floor. Hips can relax back into the floor. If it bothers your lower back when you stretch your legs out long and you're lying right on the floor, bend your knees for relaxation. Let your inner knees knock in toward each other. So find your comfortable resting place. Close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Begin to watch your breath rising and falling inside your chest and rib cage. Feel your breath moving in and out through your nostrils. And notice as you rest on the floor here, notice that your body is perfectly aligned. So instead of that slumping posture that we were talking about, the rounded upper back and your head protruding forward here, your upper back and your chest are in perfect alignment. Your neck is nice and long. Your whole spine here stretches out in perfect proportion. Shavasana, or relaxation in yoga, is not just about calming down and cooling down after your yoga practice. It's also about realigning your muscles and your bones after you've done a lot of stretching. So you want your body to cool down instead of in kind of those crazy postures we were in. You want your body to cool down in perfect alignment. And that's where we are here. Feel your feet relaxing. Feel your legs relaxing. Feel your pelvis relaxing. And as you do that, feel the rise and fall of your breath deep down in your belly and even deeper down inside the basin of your pelvis. Feel your lower back relaxing. And again, feel your breath rising and falling in your lower back, right around your kidneys, even lower in your sacrum and your tailbone. Feel the weight of your mid and upper back resting against the floor. And feel your breath rising and falling in that part of your body. Your back ribs, feel your back ribs expanding down into the mat as you inhale. Feel them softening and relaxing as you exhale. Feel your shoulder blades gently rising and falling with your breath. Relax your chest, relax your inner shoulders and down your inner arms, all the way into your palms, into your fingertips. Relax your outer shoulders, down your outer arms to your outer hands and outer fingers. Relax your neck and throat. Relax the hinge of your jaw. Relax the bridge of your nose. Your third eye area, the space just between your eyes. Relax your forehead and your eyelids. Bring your attention to rest on the crown of your head. And feel the relaxation that has crept over your body. Feel that sinking into your skull so that your mind begins to relax. And now begin to deepen your inhalations. Make your in-breaths bigger and brighter, even longer than your exhalations. And gently breathe awareness into your hands and feet. Move your fingers a little, move your toes a little. Begin to stretch your arms overhead, reach your fingertips back, toes reach down and forward. Take a deep breath in as you do that. Once you're full with the breath, open your mouth, sigh it out. Float your arms back down to your sides. Bend your knees one at a time. Roll all the way over to one side. You can support your head there with your arm or with a blanket or a block. Take another slow, deep breath in and out, still deepening your in-breaths. And then one hand at a time, push your palms down into the floor until you can walk yourself up sideways. Come into a seat for a moment, a comfortable seat. And once you're there, stretch your arms open wide. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hands to your heart. Namaste. Thanks for practicing with me today.